I got a thumbs up from Trent. Again, I'll say it one more time, although almost all of you sat in the room previously. Purpose of the meeting is to elect a chair and a vice chair here. It's the organizational meeting for the committees. We will at one point open nominations for chair and following that, the vice chairs. The first question I ask is, again, does this committee want to elect by voice vote or by secret ballot? To this point, everybody's done a voice vote. Throw that out there, but voice. Okay, we'll do a voice vote. The other things I shared really quickly, you received a packet from Trent at the last meeting for the Wisconsin Counties Association steering committees. Frankly, that's where the work gets done. That's where the programs, the resolutions are developed, and the platform that we lobby on, as well as the County Ambassadors Program, which was started, I don't know, probably 10 years ago, Bill. Alice Connor started it. Another great program. If you want to apply, it's done electronically now. Every supervisor is going to get an email from the WCA. If you really want to be involved and you want to do that, they don't mean a lot, but what they do is important. And ultimately, at the end of the day, in Madison, I'm the one who signs off on all of it. So if you apply, I will tell you, you will be accepted. This committee, after the election of the chair and vice chair, will set your meeting schedules. You'll meet when you want, how you want, and accommodate those members of the committee. And the last thing that I've been asked, so I shared with everybody, is when and how are we going to get the county open, both the government and the private sector. And I can tell you, we're working through emergency management, our health department, and with our department heads to have a controlled and systematic opening of the county government, so we can meet the needs of the people. And then we're working with private industry. We're probably going to have to wait to do anything in any official capacity, at least till after the Supreme Court hears everything on around the 1st. And at that point, we will probably make some decisions as to how we start a controlled and slow opening. So does everybody have any questions on what we're going to do here? All right, so the first order of business is to elect a committee chair, and I will open the floor for nominations. Mr. Pollack.
I nominate Al Bry.
Al Bry's been nominated. Do I have any other nominations? Mr. Hamilton.
I nominate Brad Hamilton.
Brad Hamilton's been nominated. Are there any other nominations for the office of chair? Any other nominations for the office of chair? All right, then I will again go in the order of the nominations. And I ask by a show of hands, so I'll tell you the votes. All in favor of Mr. Bry as committee chair, please signify. I have 3 votes for Mr. Bry and Mr. Hamilton. I have 2 votes for Mr. Hamilton. All right, that brings me to so Mr. Bry has been elected chair of I think I saw an abbreviation the other day, the PIT committee. That we might come up with a better, acronym than PIT. I wasn't sure what that was when I first saw it.
It was a great idea I gave you, Mr. Chairman.
And then secondly, we will open nominations for the office of vice chair. Mr. Hamilton.
I nominate Dennis Pollock.
Dennis Pollock's been nominated as vice chair. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Seeing no other nominations, I guess I'd ask for a motion to close nominations, cast unanimous ballot. Mr. Pollock, that motion is by Mr. Hamilton. I have a second by Laura Ballantyne. We are using Ballantyne, correct?
Yes.
Okay. By Laura. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
And Mr. Pollock, congratulations. You are the vice chair. With that being said, I have no other order of business that I need to conduct before this committee. You're going to decide when, where, and how you're going to meet. You are treading new ground, uncharted waters, as to exactly, what that role is going to be going forward. And I'm sure that it will, during the year, it'll be somewhat fluid. It'll probably morph a little bit as you move through the different processes. But
Right now, there probably is no immediate need for that committee, is there?
Pardon?
There's no immediate need for that committee to meet right now, is there, that you're aware of?
I would probably, I think you have to meet today, but I think you ought to set up a meeting, prior to the county board meeting, so you have adequate time to get anything in the package you want. So I guess for asking my guidance, I would certainly talk to Amy Kaup, because Amy, everything, I don't care what anybody says, everything runs through IT.
Yeah,
right? And obviously, there are some public property issues that we deal with
yeah.
kind of at all times, and they probably have some insight and input, and then on the renewables, the state law. Go ahead.
Just to let you know, they are also maintenance. And
Right.
one of your department heads is Ruben.
Well, that's what I,
Really?
yeah, that's what I just said. You probably want to talk to Ruben and see where they're going and what they want to do. But I would highly recommend that each committee meet appropriately far enough ahead of the county board meeting, so anything that needed to come before the board
Yeah.
could come before it at the May meeting. All right, at this point, I will absolutely shut up, Al, and it's your meeting.
You're doing good. Okay, I guess then we'll open the fifth committee meeting. And I guess we need to meet with IT and with Ruben to see what and where we need. Unless, Lisa, you're probably aware of anything that's out there, right?
Amy's on the line, so,
Was she? Okay,
yep.
okay.
Amy, are you able to chime in? She's working on it.
Oh.
I'll unmute her. There we go. Go ahead, Amy.
I think it's hilarious, the IT department can't get
Well,
through.
no, I unmuted her and then she tried to unmute
It's a little
herself.
different.
So,
Because we can't either, now you know what works
oh, no, and we can't hear her, so.
Why you need a committee to regulate that.
I guess I'd give the same charge to this committee that I gave to the other one. Some of you have been around a long time, some of you haven't. I would recommend that you get out and you see those facilities. You know, specifically, Laura, yourself, if you want me or somebody to tour you. So as you talk about different facilities, you know what we're talking about. Every department head I've ever called has been more than willing to meet with you. If you called Ruben, so Ruben, raise your hand. Ruben over here, in charge of all the facilities, called Ruben and said, hey, could you give me a quick synopsis and a tour? I'm sure he would be more than, not just happy, he would probably be thrilled. Amy and IT, same thing. I'd recommend you get out to, Edgewater and, what do we call Norwood now? The Northwood County Annex?
I think it's got,
Wood County Annex and Health Center.
Wood County Annex.
Yeah.
Gotta come up with an acronym for that makes sense. But all of those facilities. 'Cause
the
you're-
Rosa Center would be good.
Okay, you're gonna
I
be.
knew that was coming.
Yeah. I was gonna say, as long as Steve's around.
We are being recorded. So, but my recommendation obviously is those who haven't sat in these positions for you try to make arrangements at your convenience. And I've never had a department head say, boy, I'm glad you called me. It just said, hey, that's fantastic.
Amy's coming down.
I just have a question, Al, like on this meeting, like the second Tuesday of the month, just as a suggestion. I mean, if that works with the department heads, if you try to get it in the first week, you got a lot of meetings.
Yeah.
It still gives you enough time to get your agenda in.
Mr.
Saying you have to go there, but.
Yeah.
Lance has got, or Twenty's got something.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, the second week is fine, but then there's always some on the county board that get a little grumpy and they will remain nameless that the minutes aren't in the county board packet. So you throw that out there. I can tell you that the first Monday of the month is open right now. No, it doesn't appear that any other committee has staked their claim, so to speak, on it. But whenever you want to meet is fine. Just when you get into that second week, you're bumping up against the county board packet deadline, which is set by county board rule, and that's 2 p.m. on Wednesday. So getting those minutes in that month, it probably is not going to happen. They won't have time to get them prepared. So I just leave that to your judgment.
Okay.
Well, yeah, why don't you discuss what works for all your committee people, if there are other various obligations, jobs, Brad works, Laura works. The other three, yeah. You're pretty wide open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Morning, Amy.
My preference would always be evening. Early evening is fine, but I understand I'm probably the only one who says that, so I can be flexible, but that would be much easier for me.
So you're saying you work like a 40-hour week, huh?
Yeah, well, and then I have a childcare issue too, so,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay,
So my husband will be home, but
okay.
obviously right now, things are a little harder with daycares being shut down.
Yeah, everything's hard now.
Yeah, but, once things open up, that'll be easier, but
Remember, you can WebEx, and if you got somebody with IT, you can always WebEx in.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
We're somewhat looking at first Monday of the month. Does that work, that all for you?
That,
Okay. Dennis?
Yeah, that's fine.
So, yeah, that's a first.
We're not in the committee, let them talk. Just be quiet over there. Okay. The rest of you, that work okay, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you, you can WebEx or have your husband?
I can work.
Okay. I did that last time, it worked okay. We should figure 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
That sounds good.
This wouldn't be until, well, it could be in May, maybe. We need a main meeting? Or can we wait?
personally, I do not, as far as,
Okay.
there's nothing happening in IT that needs committee approval at this point, or that we're
Okay.
looking to ask for, so.
Ruben,
I
you
do
got
not.
anything pressing?
Well, my question would be, and maybe different from you, I guess, but we are being asked by finance right now to get our capital projects for next year approved by our committee by last Friday. So we're due on that already as far as committee approval. We can turn in what we are going to talk with this committee about, but the committee at its next meeting will be reviewing my capital list, and maybe Amy's as well.
I've submitted mine to finance.
Yeah, so finance is looking for committee input and approval right away, so at your discretion, I guess, they'll have our list, but your input is being requested.
Okay. I guess I think it would, the more we can put off, the better we are with this pandemic thing, rather than having people come in that it's, how do we put off? Until the board meetings might go already, I think pretty much everybody's doing that. Not that we have to because of that, but
we're doing the WebEx thing. It's whatever you think.
Can we move it to 9:30? Is that acceptable?
yeah.
Later is always better. Yeah, earlier is, for people getting down up north.
I didn't bring a calendar either, of course.
We're looking at June. The first Monday is June 1st.
Okay.
Obviously for May, it would be next Monday, May 4th.
That's a little tight, I think. Well, can we put it off till June 1st, then, you think?
It won't be my issue necessarily, my documents will be in finance, so they're just gonna be waiting on me. But
I should try to hit for the middle of the month or something like. What do you think, Lisa? You got anything on that?
I think finance will work with whatever they have, and if we need to wait for.
Otherwise, there's no point.
That's what it's gonna be.
Okay.
I know finance is being flexible with the CIP, so
Okay.
we're still, IT is very, very busy right now, as you can imagine, with a lot of people working from home. So our workforce has really shifted from what we're used to a lot working from home. So our department is extremely busy. So we have a lot of our CIP that we've submitted to finance, but we're still waiting for some of our numbers. So we don't have all of our numbers for 2021 CIP yet. So
Oh, okay, so,
giving us a little bit more time to get that information would be more helpful. And I know I've provided finance with what we have so far for our CIP request, and let them know that we're still waiting for a couple of figures to come in. So I think having a little bit more time would be helpful for IT.
okay. If something does pop up, that's an emergency, we can always, call a sooner meeting if we have to, I guess.
Yeah, the only comment I would make, I think that these are the two committees that this committee is gonna work with. I think we should be more concerned with what these two
Yeah.
heads have to worry about with finance.
Yeah.
You're not purposely going to move finance up.
Nobody from finance is here. No, they're not.
No, we are taping this, so.
Yeah, I guess let's set it for June 1st, 9:30. And, see if something pops up. we can take another look
You planning that on the 4th at 9:30?
at it. Is that what it is for?
It'd be June 1st.
Oh, no, June 1st.
Yeah,
Oh,
June 1st,
you're gonna skip me?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
That's good.
As Amy said, that gives her a little more time to,
It does to get some final numbers, so I'll have a lot more accurate numbers for the CIP.
and maybe part of the world to come back to reality by then, I doubt it.
Here.
I guess I think we've been meeting, Brad, we were on the other committee, you were on the committee, weren't you, on the subcommittee?
What's that?
For the property subcommittee?
Yeah.
I think we met here, I don't know where else we,
Well, you're gonna have to be here if you're gonna do WebEx.
yeah, yeah.
114's it's gotta be here until
Yeah.
we don't have to worry about it.
I think Trev said that, we're open on that Monday,
Yep,
so we should be good. Okay, I guess
big thumbs up.
let's do that then. June 1, 9:30, June 114. Okay, anything else? Anybody got any questions or issues or of any kind? I'll listen, try and fix them, but. Okay, I guess with that, then I'll adjourn the meeting.